All right, let's get into our lesson. Yesterday we looked at content and analysis, really talked about how, a writer would introduce their essay as we are grading these model essays. We also looked at punctuation, grammar, the conventions of English. Now we want to look at command of evidence. And then there's a second one we're going to look at too, but let's focus on this one first. So, command of evidence, the extent to which the essay presents evidence from the provided text to support analysis and reflection. So, if we think about Pow Tide, this is definitely going to be the I portion as far as the important evidence is concerned. So let's see. In order to get a 4, it says develop the topic with relevant, well chosen facts, definitions, concrete details, quotations, or other information and examples from the text. The key thing that stands out is quotes. There's nothing easier than to be able to quote from the text. That's textual evidence. And remember, anytime you write a quote down, you have to be sure that you put the page number where it comes from in parentheses. Okay, so let's make that a habit. And examples from the text. It also says sustain, so to keep up, the use of varied relevant evidence. So it does have the word varied. And so by varied, we're talking about a variety. So that would be a combination of chosen facts, definitions, concrete details, quotations, and other information. So that wouldn't just be quote after quote after quote after quote. You need to mix it up some. And if you can mix it up some, then you should be able to score a 4. Now, if you don't get a 4 and you get a 3, it's because you have to develop the topic with relevant facts, definitions, details, quotations. There's that word again. Or other information and examples from the text. So these are basically the same. Let's see if there's any difference. The main difference I see, is my highlighter here, is well chosen. Here it just says relevant facts. This says well chosen. So we're probably going to have to create an activity and practice actually using, both. So what's the difference between a well chosen fact and a relevant fact? Because is it possible to be relevant without being well chosen? So let me do some work on that end to get us more practice on that. But for now, they're pretty much the same with the exception of that. And then look at the second one. Sustain the use of relevant evidence from some lack of variety. So it says with lack of variety, actually let me highlight that one as well. That means that you're only using, quotes, or you're only using definitions. I mean, the 3 is not bad, but remember, the more points you get, the closer you get to 16, the better. And that's the goal. Because even a 12 out of 16 will get you proficient, but technically, that's only a C. And I might change that as far as the grading scale, but for at least the past 3 years of me teaching writing at the middle school level, this is what it has been. And even when I taught, high school, it was similar. I had a similar structure to that because that's what the state is looking at. All right. Anyways, so again, content analysis really focused on the introduction and how well the writer understood the text, command of evidence, basically, choose relevant, forgot how to spell, relevant, textual evidence, very the different kinds or kind, excuse me, of evidence. That's pretty simple. So choose relevant textual evidence, vary the different kind of evidence. So basically the I in Pow Tie. If you do that, you can get, 4 points. And if you don't do that consistently, then you might get, 3 points. Still pretty good because you don't want to drop below a 3 on this rubric in any particular area. You'll always be at a 3 at the minimum. All right, so let's flip it over to page 12. Let's see here. And there is a bit of a delay there because I've already turned. Any day now, Grandma. All right, so yesterday we looked at control of conventions, which again is grammar, punctuation, spelling. So we're definitely going to continue practicing those skills. We pretty much practice them every day with everyday editing, but we can narrow down our focus and focus specifically on certain things like commas and conjunctions and combining sentences, so on and so forth. So let's focus on coherence, which means well put together, organization, and style. So let's read the jargon. The